Today I want to show you how to calculate the percentage of a quantity. So say you've got something like $240, right? And we'll start off easy so you can get an understanding of what's actually happening. If you wanted to know 50% of $240, lots of you out there could probably go, oh, well, 50%, that's a half. Half of $240 is $120. Okay, that's the goal, to be able to understand percentages in that way so you can easily calculate it. But we can't always do it so easily when our percentage isn't something like 50%. But I want to use 50% as my first example to show you how we're then going to calculate percentage of a quantity for more difficult percentages. So you can think of 50% in different ways. You probably know that 50% is equal to a half, right? 50% of something is half of it. And we can also write a half as 0.5. So there are three ways of expressing percentages. We can express it as, obviously, as a percentage, or a fraction, or a decimal. Okay, so what we're really wanting to know is what's half of $240. And as we said, half of $240 is $120. So when you're saying half of something, what you're really doing is dividing that quantity into two pieces. So half of 240 is the same as saying 240 divided into 2. Or it's also the same as saying half times 240. These two are the same thing, right? So that's how I want us to think about it. If you need to do this in your head, I want you to think, well, what's another way I can think of my percentage? So say you've got something like 30%. So I don't know about you, but I need to think a little bit harder when it comes to 30%. So I might use a different amount this time, and I'm just going to say 30% of 480. Okay, so another way I can write 30% is as 3/10 of 480. Okay, off the top of my head, I don't know what 3/10 of $480 is, but I do know what 1/10 is, because when I divide by 10, remember, it's like I'm moving my decimal point one place to the left. So 1/10 of 480 is going to be 48. So 3 of those is a lot simpler to calculate than 30% straight up. So 3 times 48, what's 48 times 2? What's that, 96? Plus another 48 gives us, hard to do off the top of my head, 144. All right, so really, we get down to it, 30% of 480 is 144. But you might not always need to do this in your head, okay? Usually we have access to a calculator. So the way I want to show you when you've got your calculator is really straightforward, okay? We're going to go back to where we remember that our percentage can be expressed as a fraction and as a decimal, okay? To convert a percentage to a decimal, if you can remember that, we simply divide our percentage by 100. Okay, so if we want to calculate using our calculator, we simply take and say we want something really obscure. We want 37% of 230. Okay, I can't calculate that in my head. I have no need to calculate that in my head. I almost always walk around with a calculator with me. Okay, so I've got 37, I'm going to change that to a decimal, so 37, divide by 100, and then multiply by our quantity, all right? I want you to remember in maths that of means times, okay? Of, whenever you see of, you know you need to multiply. So that's pretty straightforward how we calculate the percentage of a quantity. Simple ones we can do in our head, otherwise simply divide our percentage by 100 and multiply by our quantity. If you'd like to see more videos like this, just comment with whatever topic you're having trouble with, and I will do my best to make you a video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks.